What we're about to show you is our translation of the epic Gilgamesh.
We simulate our version of the story through a tale of a girl losing her grandma to cancer.
My grandma and I were never really that close. The only time we saw each other was at family reunions, and even then we didn't really get along. It wasn't until she was diagnosed with stage 3 leukemia that her and I developed a great relationship, a really strong bond. We got to know each other so well through fun activities that she told me she wanted to do before she died. We visited the zoo, we ordered the entire dessert menu at our favorite diner, and we had so much fun.
Through our adventures together, I truly discovered what a sweet girl she is. Her and I seemed to be living in a dream where the harsh realities of life didn't exist.
But one day, it all became too much for her. The treatment stopped working, and she passed away.
It wasn't until I passed away that she discovered who she was.
We didn't get to do everything we wanted to do. I felt so alone.
She was devastated at first. I know that she wasn't ready for me to go, but the time was right.
Gilgamesh and Enkidu at first sight of each other started fighting. They didn't get along right off the bat, but quickly accepted one another once they realized the greater obstacle at hand. They needed to go on an adventure together to kill Humbaba and the Bull of Heaven.
Just as the girl and her grandma were checking off things on their to-do list, Enkidu and Gilgamesh were doing the same. During this process, they really got to know each other and loved one another. Enkidu passed away during this journey, and it was very difficult for Gilgamesh to accept it. He had to learn how to become a new man.
I didn't believe it was real. I couldn't. I waited by her bedside, clutching her lifeless cold hands in my own. If there was any way that my body could resonate life, if there was any way I could replenish her body and soul with my own livelihood, I would. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. It wasn't until the nurses pulled the sheet over her face that I knew it was real.
She watched me as I slept that night. She did not move, did not blink. It was as if she was afraid that if she did, she might miss a sign I was alive. Although she did not complete her journey yet, she needed to realize that I had. Losing me was part of her journey. Pain is part of growing up. It shapes who we are.
According to the 5 stages of grief, the girl, like Gilgamesh, is experiencing denial and isolation. After Enkidu's death, Gilgamesh traveled the road of the sun, completely surrounded by blackness. He was alone and confused, and did not see a future for himself.
He also was not ready to accept the past. Once he reached the field, he felt as if he could pour out his emotions, and the pain of losing his companion, and also how alone he was. But he realized that the field was death, and he completely felt alone.
Page 59. He entered the road of the sun, which was so shrouded in darkness that he could see neither what was ahead of him nor behind. Thick was the darkness, and there was no light.
Page 61. As when we can recall so vividly, we almost touch, or think of all the gestures that we failed to make. After several minutes, he stood up, explaining only to himself why he had come, to find the secret of eternal life, to bring Enkidu back to life, recognizing now the valley was death, to loss known only to himself. Can we really understand another person's grief?
My friends tried to help me through it, but I didn't let them. I didn't want to admit defeat. I was angry at the world. Why did this have to happen to her? Why now? We just started to build a relationship. We just started becoming friends. No one could understand my pain. No one could help me.
I watched her struggle endlessly. It wasn't fair of her to block everyone out. Everyone dear to her just wanted to help, but in a way she's wise. Can anyone really understand the pain she was going through? She isolated herself from the world and dealt with this on her own for a very long time.
Page 65. Her presence seemed to suffocate him now. He wanted to throw off each pleasureful touch and moment of forgetfulness.
Gilgamesh, much like the girl, refused to be distracted by others. He was angry at the situation and didn't think that anyone really understood how much pain Enkidu's death had caused him. He refused the help of the woman.
Maybe she didn't have to die after all. I mean, maybe I could have done something to prolong her life for even a couple more months. If only we had sought medical attention sooner. If only we had gotten a second opinion from another doctor. If only maybe I'd been a better granddaughter or something. Maybe she'd still be here. God, please tell me she's okay. Is she in pain? Is she happy? God?
Rebecca never seemed to give a hoot or holler about anyone but herself, until my passing, of course. This changed her significantly. Although those times were trying, she began to find herself as a young woman. She's heading down a new path on her journey, called life. Rebecca, if you're listening, I want you to know how proud Grandma is of you. I regret not getting to know you better. You brought color and vitality into my life. During that short time we spent together, I was able to see a side of you I don't think the world's seen yet.
Page 69. Which is the way to Upnapishtim? I must know. Is it the sea, the mountains? I will go there.
During the bargaining stage of death, the griever experiences helplessness and vulnerability. He or she feels the need to regain control of the situation. Commonly, they will even blame themselves for the loss of their loved one. Gilgamesh's search for immortality was fueled by his emotional need to have Enkidu back. He was still in denial, even though the death of his friend was inevitable.
During this search, we see an immediate change in his character. He becomes selfless in the sense that he has never gone to such lengths to help another person. In our skit, Rebecca connects with her grandma after years of having little to no communication at all. The time that they spent together left a tremendous impact on her, so much that she is grieving over almost a complete stranger.
I haven't left my apartment in 4 days. I don't pick up the phone when my friends call. I don't know what they would want from me anyway.
I wish I could tell her that everything was gonna be all right, that she's gonna be all right.
Maybe I'm being selfish for mourning this for so long, or maybe they're not being sympathetic towards me. Regardless, I have no need to get out of bed. It's not like Grandma's ever going to do anything ever again, so why should I?
If I could take her pain away, oh Lord, I would. I can't stand to see her suffer like this. It isn't right. Time heals all wounds, but I feel like her clock's broken. Even though she may not know it, she needs to get back out there and start her daily routine again. Maybe it was selfish of me to start a relationship that was bound to end so quickly. The past is written in ink, but the future is yet to be put down on paper.
Everyone grieves differently. During the depression phase of grieving, the practical reason is to feel sadness and regret. Much like the anger phase, they push others in their life away when in reality they need them more than ever.
Grievers worry that they are falling short of their duties in other relationships. Mourning consumes the extent of their time, and for that they become occupied both mentally and emotionally.
It's been about 6 weeks now, and each day has been a little bit easier. I went about an hour and a half yesterday without Grandma crossing my mind. I know my progress is slow, but I'm slowly coming to terms with her absence. She's not coming back, but she'll always be in my heart. I hope she knows the beautiful impression that she's left with me. I will forever cherish her memory and miss her for the rest of my life. Rest in peace, Grandma.
Time heals all wounds, but time takes time.
People grieve not only because they want their loved ones back, but because they want the person that they were with that loved one back. Relationships allow us to be a certain kind of person. We can be mothers, sons, teachers, coworkers, etc. When we lose the other half of that pair, we lose the person that we were to them.
Our friends and family serve each as a gateway for us to live through. Just because one gateway closes doesn't mean that the rest are closed. Death is not easy to overcome, but with time and support, it is possible.
Thank you for watching.
Okay.